Daniel Warren Johnson brings the claws out with this awesome Wolverine cover that has fans going crazy for more. Supergirl's still flying high and taking names, and Darth Maul just made his mark thanks to some galaxy-shaking Star Wars Celebration news. These books are climbing the charts, but only one can take the top spot. So who's sitting at number one? Let's break it down. This is your Trending 10 Comics of the Week. Out. It's the Comic Heat Index, or the top trending comics for the last week of April. Shane, we got some returns, but we also have some new books in our list. Let's talk about what we see right now, Shane. So take a look and give me your immediate response before we start going deep into it.
Well, the first one is one that I just learned about, but the Darth Maul, I knew that recently, that Sam Witwer, whatever his name is, that does the voice of him in Clone Wars, announced that they're doing a new show based on Darth Maul. So that's kind of that book. The Summer of Superman, or Supergirl, if you're going by the cover.
Yeah, right.
That book is, $30 or more now. We're going to get into it, I'm sure. And that was one that was weird because my store didn't get DC the week that came out. So I ordered it. So I was worried that I wasn't going to end up with it. But thankfully, the order came in last week and I got double DC. And that Wolverine cover is just awesome. I love it. I have two.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about all these books, but let's first go into the honorable mentions. And here they are. Now you're probably saying to yourself, hey, didn't we just say that Wolverine book's in the top 10? And yes, it is. But the one that you're seeing right now, that is the 1 in 25 second print Virgin variant done by Daniel Warren Johnson, and it already has hot pre-orders. So this book, it's on demand. People are hunting it. They want it already. Then we have Star Wars Beyond Victory. This was the special giveaway book that they gave in Star Wars Celebration over in Japan. And of course, people want it because why not, right? And then finally, the last book that you see there is Eddie Brock's Carnage, issue number 3. This is the 1 in 25 Mike Mayhew cover, which we talked about this book when we were talking about eye-catching variants, and we said, this thing looks crazy sick.
Oh,
what's it?
So
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is my store did not qualify for this book, not even close. They don't order very many of that series, but this is one that I am very tempted to go online and try to track down because I just think it's awesome. I'm hoping that they do a reprint of it that's not a 1 in 25 is what I'm hoping.
If they do a reprint on it, it's probably going to be a Virgin. And that means it's going to probably end up being maybe a 1 in 50.
No.
Maybe 1 in 100. But it's also worth noting, this is the first of a set. There's a Venom, and the Venom is just as crazy as this one. So be on the lookout for it. These are honorable mentions. They were just shy for hitting the top 10. They really were. All three of them were really, they were touching it in this particular instance, but they didn't make the top 10. Let's go into the top 10, starting with number 10, and that is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, issue number 3. This book came out in 1999 for Dark Horse Comics. The last recorded sale of this book was $25 raw. Fair market value of this book is $21 near mint. $173 goes for 9.8. This is trending list on Key Collector number 8 and number 7 on CBSI. Sales volume, that's the 30-day sales. 26 sales already as of right now. Hype level is at a high because of what you just mentioned. Star Wars Celebration just came out. It was over in Japan. They made some announcements. One of the biggest announcements that they made was Darth Maul is returning in animated form, and thus books with Darth Maul attached to them are gaining traction. This happens to be one of them.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched that, you can easily find that on YouTube where Sam Witter talks about it. But I'm looking forward to it. I thought his character had a great arc in the Clone Wars, especially the last season, and it was kind of left off. And when you listen to him talk about what the show's about, it's really cool. This book probably going to trend higher, I'm going to guess, because until there's some news about this in a trailer, you know how it goes. It's the same with a lot of the books. It'll spike and then drop off right after it comes out.
Yeah, and it's not an expensive book for what it's worth, right? It
Yeah.
is the first. It's considered the first cover appearance of Darth Maul. There's also a variant edition, but it's a photo variant edition that's equally as sought after. But this isn't. Believe it or not, that's a painting.
Yeah.
That's art. So that's a painted work. That's number 10. Let's take a look at what's number 9. And number 9 is Daredevil 183. This book came out in 1982 from Marvel Comics. The last recorded sale was $35, and that was raw. Fair market value of this book is $26 near mint, while 9.8 are going for $180. This is on Key Collectors number 5. Sales volume is still pretty high for their 30-day sales at 50 sales. The hype level is medium for this book. Daredevil has gone already. The season's over. We won't be seeing Daredevil for several months, maybe a year. Same thing with Punisher. So this is one of those books that's still gaining. It still has momentum, but that momentum is starting to die down.
Yeah, until that Punisher special, like the special, whatever they call them, the thing that the Man Thing was in, special presentation, we'll see if that spikes this book at all. And it depends on if Daredevil is in it. Who knows? We don't know anything about that show yet, except for it's a Punisher show.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be a one episode, it's a one off, it's a one shot. We don't even know when it's happening, when it's coming out. So there's no word on when it's coming out. There's nothing really telling us anything. All we know, and that's based off what we heard, so it's mostly rumors right now, is that there is a Punisher one-shot special that John Berthal has a hand on doing as well. Not only will he be in it, he's I think co-writing or producing or something like that. This book is here because of Daredevil, and chances are we probably won't see it for a while after today.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers that the dreams come true again. If they really want to build some hype, that Punisher thing, have Tom Holland show up as Spider-Man. That's all they got to do.
They could do something with that, but that might not happen. Little bit above their pay grade, you know what I mean? All right, let's take a look at our next book at number 8, Sister Imperator. Imperator, I don't know, whatever. Number 2, yeah. This book came out in 2025 for Dark Horse Comics. $17 was the last recorded sale. Fair market value of this book is at $18 near mint. This book is number 3 in CBSI. Sales volume, this book is still pretty high at 93 sales, and the hype level is at a medium. Until issue 3 comes out, this one's going to be the hot one.
Yeah, I said the last week when this was on there that I was in my shop and they had like a stack of them, not even in bags and boards yet, because no one really cared when it first came out, and then all of a sudden it just kind of caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then issue 1's already out in the ether. Issue 2 just been 2 weeks now since it's been out, so people are still grabbing it here and there. When issue 3 comes out, it's going to be the same thing with this one. This one's going to cool down. Issue 3 is people are going to pick it up, but it's probably going to have an open order now, higher order count to it, so it probably won't be as hot as 2 and 1, because 2 and 1 are still under ordered, where 3 is probably going to be ordered at the price it needs to be. It's because the lead singer of the metal band Ghost wrote this story. That's why this book is hot. That's the FOMO behind it. Really, it is what it is. If he does more stories, that's great. If not, this is going to be one of those things when it turns into a trade paperback. These books are probably going to just cool off. Okay.
Yeah. Go Sci Comics. That's what this equals.
Exactly. Let's go to number 7, and that is the Century #1. This book came out in 2000 from Marvel Comics. The last recorded sale of this book was $91 at a near mint. Fair market value of this book is $89 near mint, $321 for a 9.8. It is on Key Collectors #2, and it has a sales volume of 41 sales in a 30-day period. Hype level is a high. This week is the Thunderbolts. I got my tickets for Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this movie. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know if I'll see it or not before next week. I might not.
Well, I got my tickets. In fact, just to give you a little insight of my job. So at my job, my boss, he made he had a request for me and a couple of other fellow colleagues saying, "Hey, I would like to know if you would like to go with us to a special event." Right now, I'll spare you the details of what the events are about, but what's more interesting is where the event is being held. He said, "Well, the event's being held at we're going to do a special a presentation in Rikers Island." And it's at 4:00. Would you be interested? And I said, in my brain, I was like, so should I go to Rikers Island at 4:00 or should I go see the Thunderbolts movie? Sorry, boss, not going to be able to make this. So I passed the opportunity of going to Rikers Island. I'm sure there's other ways I could make it to Rikers Island that I'm choosing not to make. So, but as far as this book, this is the hottest book coming out of the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts themselves are not gaining any type of buzz as far as comic books go. With like maybe the only one that's really gaining some buzz is the first appearance of Red Guardian. But besides that, all the other books, no one's really going crazy to buy, with the exception of this one. Why do you think that's the case?
I just think, people have cooled a little bit maybe on the movie thing because they haven't really had a knockout yet. So if Thunderbolts comes out and it kind of reignites that kind of end game feeling that everybody had watching those movies, then you might see a spike in those books.
Yeah,
And maybe
I don't
leading up.
think I'll do an Endgame thing. Endgame is as a totally different level. Maybe a Guardians thing.
Yeah,
That's how I look at it. Maybe more like a Guardians thing. It's like you got a rad tag team, relatively unknown characters. Let's see what we could do with that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So there's that. But again, like I told you, it is something that there's a buzz, and Century seems to be leading the pack in that buzz. And there's a lot of good talks about it. They said that Florence Pugh is doing a phenomenal job, that she's stealing the shows, but they're also saying that the actor that plays the Century, Pullman's his name, I forgot his first name, that he's also stealing the show. So this is something that I think is very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see the movie on Thursday. Can't wait to talk a little bit about it on Friday.
yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll live stream from the movie theater for our show.
Wouldn't that be something? I think you'll cause some problems.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our next book at number 6, and that is Exquisite Corpse, Ash Can #1. This book came out in 2025 for Image Comics. Last recorded sale, this book was $70 near mint. Fair market value of this book is at $62 near mint. This is #2 in Covrprice with a sales volume of 37 sales in the last 30 days. The hype level of this book is at a medium. We talked about this book last week. This book was given out during Eternal Con over in I want to say it was Seattle. Emerald Con. I said Eternal Con. Eternal Con's happening over here, but Emerald Con is a con that happens in Seattle. My friend Nemesis Prime, he was at that show. Shout out to them. And he said it was okay, but this was the hot book at that show. I was at a convention yesterday, and there's a comic book shop at that convention, and this book was there. I want to say it wasn't the same book. I'm thinking that the ash can that was given out at the convention was slightly different than the ones that are in the shops. But this book was at the show. Was at the comic book shop I was in. I was tempted, but I passed. I hope
Yeah.
I did a good I hope I was right by doing that pass.
Yeah, I don't know much about this one, so we'll kind of see if the hype holds up or if it's just kind of a temporary 1 week or 2 week thing.
Yeah, we'll see. But again, there's a lot of good buzz on the book. People are talking about it. James Tynion is writing it, so that's pretty cool. There's momentum with this book. Mhm. Let's take a look at number 5. We're back to Star Wars with Star Wars Legacy number 0. This book came out in 2006 for Dark Horse Comics. The last recorded sales of this book was at $9 near mint. Fair market value of this book is $21, while 9.8s are going for $101. It was number 6 in CBSI. It was number 8 in Covrprice. The sales volumes are 47 copies were sold within a 30-day period. Hype level is a high. This features the first cover appearance of Darth Talon. And Darth Talon is an apprentice to Darth Maul. So, what else have you heard about this specific character?
Not too much, really. Just the cover at the beginning uh, that we showed in the honorable mentions, I think, or in the title card. And I don't know, I haven't seen this character too much before, but I can tell you that $9 now, she does appear in the cartoon coming up, will definitely be much more than that then.
Oh, yeah. I think if you grab this book at a fairly low price, as well as the other one we're going to talk about, you might be getting it at a very, very good time.
Yeah.
But character Darth Talon, I'm not. I was as I was telling some friends of mine, I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I'm not like into the lore and things like that. But I hear good things about this character, and I heard that this character has potential. I don't see this character as the next coming of Darth Vader or anything like that. However, this is one of those characters that probably will get an uptick and then probably go right back down, like most Star Wars books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At number 4, there it is, Star Wars Legacy number 2. This book came out in 2006. Dark Horse Comics, $25 near mint was the last recorded sales. Fair market value is $26. The 9.8s are going for $127. This was number 1 in Key Collector, number 2 in CBSI, and number 10 at Covrprice. Sales volume, this was 28 sales. Hype level is at a high. This is her first appearance and her origin. And the character I'm referring to is the character from number 5, Darth Talon.
Yeah, and in that interview with from Star Wars, the Adventure Day or whatever it's called, the he doesn't really mention anything that I remember about any details of the show. So this must be coming from a different source. So I'm interested. I'll have to look it up after and see kind of what's going on, because even $25 for this and 9 for the other, you get both books for less than $40. I mean, I would do that
Yeah.
for sure.
This one has 3 printings, so be on the lookout for those printings. The printings might end up costing more as well. So just keep your eyes set when you see it. If you see it at a dollar bin, grab it. It's worth it. If you see it at like under $10, also grab it if it's worth it. Talon is a character that you will see eventually in live action form, or in this particular instance, animated form. Coming in at number 3, Summer of Superman number 1. This is an Alexander Loanza variant. This book came out in 2025 for DC Comics. The last recorded sale of this book is at $25. Fair market value of this book is $23 for near mint, $107 for 9.8s, and those are pre-orders because there's none in the census just yet. Trending list is number 5 in CBSI, number 5 in Covrprice. Sales volume is super high with 233 copies sold within the last 30 days. That keeps this hype level at a high. We
I
talked
can't
about it
believe,
last week, and here it is today.
yeah, I can't believe the sales numbers. Like those sale numbers are impressive.
They're very impressive, especially for a book that I don't know what the order count was for them. I was very lucky because, as I told you, the Exquisite Corpse was there and I didn't pick it up. But what was there was this book, and I picked up another copy. So I actually have two copies of this book. I gave this book away during the show last weekend, but now I also have the two copies there, so I might consider with this book. But it is a nice cover. What people have so when I show this book to people, you know what they keep asking me? They keep asking me if this AI, because it does resemble some kind of AI animation. So
Yeah,
I'm
it does
curious
look like
now.
like like a filter almost.
Exactly. So that's something worth checking out. But it's still a hot book. It's a great cover. $25. I don't know. I will just wait on it. Honestly, I will wait on it.
Again, like we talk about in the monthly show that's coming up. When you see those census numbers, it's actually very good for your FOMO brain because it's like, oh, there's 18,000 of these books on the census. I can wait.
Yeah, exactly. This is not one of those books just yet, but we'll
No.
find out when we find out about the monthly sales where Summer of Superman lands.
Right.
At number two, Earth X issue number 12, 2000 for Marvel Comics. Last recorded sale of this book is $50 raw. Fair market value of this book is at $48 for near mint, $290 for 9.8. This came in number 4 for Key Collector, number 4 for CBSI, number 9 for Covrprice. Sales volume is 56 sales. The hype level is high. We're just getting warmed up for Fantastic Four. That's really what this is. The first cover appearance of Shalabal as a surfer, and people are hunting this down. Interesting enough, no one has been hunting down those other Shalabal Silver Surfer covers like Nymph Man and things like that, which has a lower order count, very much cheaper. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm curious to hear like what you think about this whole Silver Surfer drama thing with the trailer.
I don't like the way she looks. Something about her face looks weird. So you
Yeah.
know, and
Like I totally get um what they're that it's either it's in the past or it's an alternate universe or however they're going to spin what the Fantastic Four has been doing while the Avengers stuff has been happening. Um,
Mhm.
but being a huge Silver Surfer fan, having those like that old '90s run, I love that run. Um, I was kind of hoping to see Silver Surfer.
And I feel like we will. I think it will eventually happen. We will get Norrin Rad. Um, I do believe, you know, Marvel Studios they got something boiling up something, but they're trying to play with the whole multiverse, thing. It hasn't worked. We want to just get back to basics. I think we've reached a point that we're just tired of these interstellar crossover events. We want something basics, and I think that's why Thunderbolts is getting good reviews. That it's just a basic ragtag group, nothing really super exciting, deep about it or stuff like that. When we get to Doomsday, might be a little different, but again, is it still a cash grab? You know what I mean? Because they're in a desperate state to get
Yeah,
sales. You know what I mean?
that or
Because that's
they're
how it feels to me.
yeah, and it could be filling the kind of the m- the the movie universe with some characters that they're going to be able to you know have die in this doomsday thing to show that there's some consequence.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So we'll see. And I have a feeling Shalaba's going to go bye bye. All right. Now for the number one book of the week. At no surprise, it's Wolverine number 8, and it's not Wolverine number 8 with Hulk in it. It is the brand new Wolverine number 8, which is Legacy number 400, the Daniel Warren Johnson variant. This book just came out in 2025 for Marvel Comics. $50 is the last recorded sale. Fair market value of this book is $43 near mint. There are pre-sales already for $106 for 9.8. It is number 6 in Key Collector, number 1 in CBSI, number 1 in Covrprice, with a sales volume of 207 copies being sold in a 30-day period. Hype level is, of course, at a high for this book. My real question is, how did this book end up number 6 in Key Collector when it's number 1 on CBSI and Covrprice?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I love this cover. The Daniel Warren Johnson story at the back, I didn't mind it. I thought it was, it was a little bit different. It fit with his style, so I thought that was fun, especially as part of like a anniversary issue like this, like 400 issues. I thought it was nice. But the instant I saw this cover in pre-orders, I was sending it to people going, "Yeah, I love this cover. You should buy it because it's
Yeah.
going to be. People are going to want this cover."
And they do. They want it. And that's why we got a second order for it. There's a 1 in 25 version, which gets rid of the background. I think that book's gonna sell. And so is that second printing of the white text in the background.
I do like the red in the background because you can see the hair outline. So I'm not quite 100% sold on the Virgin one, actually, but we'll see if I see one in hand. But I do like that the red is in the background personally.
Well, with this one here, I see that the Virgin's gonna sell pretty well. Because like you said, the hair might get lost in the background, but at least you get rid of that ugly barcode in the bottom.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the barcode actually is distracting to it. Once you like look at it, you're like, I'm distracted by it. But this is proof of how Marvel should be listening. And to say, you got a book here that people are hunting down because it's a Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Daniel Warren Johnson is a hot commodity. Give him the money to do something. Now, the thing is with Daniel Warren Johnson, he doesn't want to be tied into anything really. The only thing he's really tied into is Transformers, and that's because of his love for Transformers. But give the guy like 6 issues. Like say, hey, why don't you write 6 issues of Wolverine, X-Men, whatever, and it's gonna sell, and people are gonna buy it.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get paid.
Yep.
The thing is, Marvel needs to learn how to pay. They don't pay well.
Yeah.
And therefore we don't get the top talent that we would like to get on Marvel. That you sure they got a few names here and there. I think Benjamin Percy is one of those guys that's a good talent. Jonathan Hickman's probably their A-lister, but outside of that, they got a few, regular people here and there, but nothing that really says, "Oh my God, I got to read this book from this guy."
Yeah.
And it's a shame, and then we end up getting, all new Venom with Mary Jane as Venom. And I like Al Ewing. I think he's a pretty solid writer, but what? You know what I mean? Jed McKay, another one. Names that we know, but they're not really doing anything. Meanwhile, you have DC with Scott Snyder. You got DC with Jeff Lemire. You got DC doing stuff that they're outperforming Marvel, which, come on, you and I, we grew up in the 80s and 90s. That did not happen.
No, I have 17,000 comics and only about 4,000 of them are DC. The rest are pretty much Marvel. But last week, and probably the week before the week that they didn't get any DC, my DC pile is higher than my Marvel pile.
Yeah, it's that's how it is now. It's like their stories are crap. I'm sorry. And I love Marvel. But it is what it is for now.
Yeah,
anyway, there you have it, guys. Wolverine number 8, the Daniel Warren Johnson variant, legacy issue number 400. It is the number 1 book for this week. You guys got to tell me what you think of this ranking system. Do you like it? Which books do you have? I know you guys have been telling me in the chat. Tell me again in the comments on which books you like. And stay tuned for next week. Tell me what you think is going to be the number 1 book for next week. I would like to hear that and see what's going on from there. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.